Now we're going to go over the database design and how you use it properly. All of the databases in the WinPlant system use the same basic design and features that are built into it. So we're going to look at the customer maintenance screen and use this as a representative of all the databases that are here. The first thing you need to know is that when you first come into a database, it comes up in what we call query mode. There are various modes within the system. Query allows you to do a lookup but not to change anything. The other modes that are available are modify mode. If you want to change a record, you have to change to modify mode explicitly, or to create a new record entirely, there's the create mode. All of these can be accessed by clicking the pull down menu here, or there are also icons that'll do exactly the same thing. If we look on the pull down, you can see that there are keyboard shortcuts: Control M for modify, Control E for create, and Control Q for query. So you have 3 different ways of selecting which mode you'd like to use the system in. Once you come into the system, generally you're going to be either creating something or looking something up that you want to either just get information on or change it. One of the features of the databases is that you can park in any field you want and just start typing, and the system will locate a record that matches as closely as possible for you. So for instance, let's say I'm looking for a customer that starts with the letter K. If I type the letter K, you'll see that the entire system will jump to the first K, and I can type as many as I want. Let's say I was looking for that Keep It Green record, so I'll type E. I'll type, we're there already. I would have had to type another E if there was something else in front of it. Anyhow, that gets you exactly to the record you're looking for. If you wanted to start for another one, look for something else, just move down one or up one and start typing over again, and that clears the record so that you can go ahead and start typing. I'll type the letter F, and it'll jump to the first F that it finds. Now, besides doing a lookup, there's also ranging within the system. We have an icon here for ranging. Click on Range of Records. This is so I can look up something that is all the same. For instance, maybe I'm looking for any of our clients that are from Georgia. So I can just click on the range, go to the field that I'm looking for, in this case the billing state, and I'm going to type in GA. When I hit enter, it's going to return the entire data set of all the records that match GA in the field. So now as I look at these and I move down, you'll see that every one of these customers are Georgia. And if I want to change the ranging back, I can either get out of the customer maintenance screen and come back in. That'll clear everything that I've done and make it so that it's all the customers, or I can just do the range again. And up here under options, I can tell it clear template, and then I hit enter again, and it'll bring me back so that I have the entire record set again. Now, most of the databases also have this active field. You can see this to the right. There's an active checkbox. If the record has been used in a transaction, for instance on a customer, if it's on an order or it's on an invoice, anything like this, you cannot delete it within the system. You have a delete button here, but the delete is only going to allow you if it's not been used in the system in a transaction. So instead of being allowed to delete, what we do allow you to do is to deactivate it. So if it's a customer that's gone out of business or they've sold and it's a different name now and you've opened another account and you don't want to see that record any longer, you can uncheck the active checkbox and that deactivates them. And the default state when you come into any of the databases is that you're only going to see the active records. But you can always get back to it. Down here we have the View Inactives checkbox. If I check this box, the screen is going to jump and you'll see immediately it opens up with more that are inactive. So they're right there. They're very, very close to you if you need to be able to get to them again. And like I said, the default state is for this to come up every time as only viewing the active records. Another feature is the ability to cancel a transaction before it's been fully committed to the database. When you modify a record, we'll go in here and change this to modify. And you want to make a change. Let's say that I want to change the shipping state from Florida to Georgia. Until I've actually moved off the line by either hitting escape to back out, hitting the X, hitting the down or up arrow to move off the record's not in a written state to the disk. And as it gives you a chance, no matter how many things you've changed on the record, no matter how many fields, you can get out of these changes very easily. The two things that are available are the cancel button right here, or underneath edit there's also a cancel function there. We will go ahead and click cancel here, and you'll see that the record returns back to whatever it was. All of the values are the same, and it's now ready to go. The last thing is, on these databases you have the ability of outputting the record set that you're looking at to either a report or to an Excel spreadsheet or something like this. The way we access that is by clicking on Options and selecting Print Data. Here we have to tell it what we'd like to do. The type, we have an HTML, an XML, or a text file. If you want it to go to Excel, a text file would be the right choice. You have to select a file name. For instance, here we'll put c:\temp.xls, since we're going to use an Excel type. We have our actions. We can create the file, we can create and open it, we can create and print it. Do a create and open. Once you've filled in what you need here, click next. It's going to give you all the fields that are seen on the screen, and you can change in the order that they are produced and whether you want them at all. So for instance, I don't want the tab value field at all. I'll make that a 0. I don't want the active field. I'll make it a 0. I'll have the customer number. I'll have the name. I don't want anything else. Let's say that's the only thing I want. I would just change everything else on here to 0. As you can see, there are lots and lots of fields that are on the customer database. And you click next. This is where it's going to give us our options. How do we want to have the records delimited, and do we want to have a string identifier? In order to create an Excel spreadsheet, what you can do is tell it that you'd like the delimiter to be tab and that you want no string identifier. When you click finish, it's going to produce your file.